Hi everybody, Refresh here. So what I'm going to be doing is taking these two Dark Ascension sealed decks and facing them against the Hydra. I'm going to play it in regular difficulty at 3, and perhaps we'll play more, we'll see. What I have chosen for each of the decks is that both will be using the Harvester, which will let them loot once a turn. The zombie deck on the left will be using the Hunter, which will get a creature +1/+1 until end of turn once per turn, and the Avenger, the humans deck, will be using that, which will give a target creature death touch until end of turn by paying 3, and so that will begin the game. Let's see if these decks make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Zombies have all their colors, have things to cast. This will be kept. Humans have ways to get their colors and stuff to cast. I think it's worth keeping as well. Alright, turn 1. Island, Evolving Wilds. Crack Evolving Wilds and get up Plains. Alright, end of the player's turn. Now it's Hydra's turn. Hydra will cast the topmost card. It is Nectangle. If there are 5 or more heads on the battlefield, tap 2 of them, and they don't tap, otherwise reveal the top card and cast it. So, looks like that doesn't happen. Each player may sacrifice a creature. Each player who sacrifices a creature chooses a head and taps it. Each player who didn't, neither of them have creatures. They both loses 3 life, so they both lose 3 life to go to 17. And then, each take 3 damage from the heads to go to 14. It's a very auspicious, or a very bad start for these guys. Alright, we'll go back to the players. They're both going to loot. They'll draw a Loyal Cathar and Black Cat. The Cathar is going to go to the graveyard because it simply is not going to be easy to cast anytime soon. And this player can probably, well, the Griptide's really good. Mikias is really good. This player can probably get rid of the Scab Goliath, because that's going to be a long time before it can be cast. Alright, to the main turn. Both players draw a card. The zombie player will play the Swamp, tap both, and cast the Black Cat. The human player will play the Forest. Tap both and play the Ambush Viper. That's going to start the beats. Okay. And then we will go to the Hydra's turn. Hydra will play 1 card and tap up to 2 heads. They do not untap, and each player takes 5 damage. That'll take them both to 9, which is again a pretty precarious place to be starting in, or to be at this early on. And then each player will loot. Or no, they'll take an additional 1 damage to go to 8. And then they'll loot. Okay, you need the mana. Increasing Devotion is probably going to be a while before it can be cast, so it'll be dropped. This player probably doesn't need the extra swamp. Well, it doesn't need the... It probably doesn't want the plains, because there's nothing to use to cast with it. So they'll drop the plains. And then we will go into turns. Alright. Step 1. This player will play the Island. We'll play the Selhoff Cultist. Yeah. That's it. The Black Cat can't kill anything, even with the Ambush Viper on its side. The Humans player will play a Plains, and probably a Chapelgeist is probably the best pick right now. Yeah. I probably also need to get rid of the Pitchfork on the next loot. Chapelgeist. Ambush Viper will go in and kill a head. And each player will get 2 life back to go to 10. We'll see if there are any new heads. 1, 2. The Snapping Fang head shows up. So, deal with that when I get to the Hydra's turn. Alright, Hydra's turn. Hydra will go, play the topmost card. Each player may sacrifice a creature. Each player who sacrificed a creature this way chooses the head and taps it. Each player who didn't sacrifice a creature loses 3 life. This player will sacrifice the cat, which is not terribly useful. This player will sacrifice the Chapelgeist, probably, because it's not quite as useful either. Okay. And then these don't untap, so the players will take 2 damage from this elite head as well as 1 additional damage, so they'll both take 3 damage to go to 7. I don't know if I would have sacrificed if it weren't for the fact that their life total was so low. But as it's died, it chooses to mill. As these 2 creatures died, there's 2 creatures that died. They'll mill 2 cards from this library. Get them further down. And then we will go back to the player's turn. We're gonna loot again. Both have planes. This one's going to drop the Pitchfork. It's not terribly useful with what's out there right now. This one's going to drop probably the planes again. Okay, and then we're going to go back to regular turns. Alright, so we got Island, Swamp, Forest. Play the other Swamp here. Play the Forest here. The Ambush Viper is going to kill the big one. And Selhoff will kill one of the small ones. Okay, so we're using the Hunter to give this +3/+1/+1 to kill this one, and the Ambush Viper's Death Touch, so it kills the big one. They both gain 6 life to go to 13. And both draw a card. Okay. This one will play the Rotting Fen Snake. I guess Griptide is not terribly good. Neither is Deadweight in this against this particular creature. So I might be getting rid of those. This one will play probably Lingering Souls. Is probably the best pick. Get a couple tokens. And pass. the Hydra. Hydra untaps its... Oh, when that dies, we get to see if there are any new heads. No new heads. So back to the Hydra's turn. This finally untaps. Oh, we have to see if there's 2 more for the other dead head. Nope. Okay. And it is now, cast the topmost card. Players cannot cast spells until the Hydra's next turn. They both take 1 damage from the single head. And now we're going to loot. Midnight Guard versus Soul Caesar. Soul Caesar is probably as useless. Well, no, it's less useless than Griptide, which is really bad against the Hydra. And Midnight Guard is probably better than the extra forest as a body. Alright. So now we go back into full turns. Draw a card. Okay, each one will play a land. It's possible that this is all over now. So let's go ahead and see if we kill this guy with Damage Viper. So it's an easy one shot. This Hydra head dies. And after it dies, each player gains 2 life to go to 14. We see if there's any new heads. There's 1 new head. After that card died, we mill 1. And then, I guess we just build the board up. We'll play Grizzled Outcasts on this side. And Lantern Spirit on this side. And then pass the turn to the Hydra. Yep. Hydra plays the topmost card. It's Noxious Hydra Breath. Either just deal 5 damage to each player or destroy each tapped non-head creature. At this point, the Death Touch isn't as critical on the Damage Viper. It's still really good, but it's not as critical since there's so much board presence. So we'll go ahead and destroy it. And we'll move on to both players will take a damage to go to 13, and we will loot. Haunted Fengraf and a swamp. We want the last swamp from Mikaeus, so we'll ditch the Deadweight, which is not terribly good. And this one will probably want to ditch I don't know, Haunted Fengraf is not amazing in this deck, although I mean, there's 3 that I'd have to recast. I don't know. I think I'll ditch the Haunted Fengraf because there's plenty of gas and I want to play that instead. Okay, now it's time for main turns. Both players draw a card. Endless ranks the dead and a swamp. We'll play the swamp so that we can recast the Lingering Souls. We'll play this swamp, and then probably, well, we'll just kill this guy and see what happens first. So we'll attack with probably just this Lantern Spirit and whack it with the 100 bonus. So that dies. Both players gain 2 life to go to 15. And we see if there's any replacements. 1, 2, nope, okay. Hydra dies, both decks win. That's great, thanks. Hi everyone, playing game 2 against Difficult Hydra. I decided to play a second game. And that'll be 4 heads that these 2 decks will be facing, but otherwise we'll just start with the regular hands and see how it goes. Alright. The humans player has 2 lands, things to cast. It's not an optimal hand, but it's a start, so we'll go ahead and keep it. Zombie has both their color lands, 3 lands, and nothing that they can cast right away, but maybe we'll get to it. So let's go ahead and keep that as well. And we will begin with a swamp and a plains, and then pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra draws 1 card. It plays tap 2 heads. They do not untap, and each player takes 5 damage. That takes them to 15 each. And then 2 extra damage from the untapped heads to go to 13. We will loot at the beginning of the turn. Lingering Souls and Death's Caress. Okay, on this side, the Soul Caesar is probably the weakest of the cards because taking over our head is not especially good. And then on this side, we need to get rid of, well, a Burden of Guilt seems pretty weak, so we'll get rid of that. Alright, draw. Land, that's great. Okay. This player will go ahead and play an island, and that's all that they can do for now. It's a pretty slow hand. This player will play a forest, and again, that's all that they can do for now. So we're kind of waiting for turn 3 where the players will be able to start playing actual cards. Or maybe for turn 4 for the zombie player. We'll go back to the Hydra. The Hydra, these do not tap this turn. Plays their next card. There are 5 or more heads, tap 2 of them. Otherwise, reveal the next card and play it. Put exactly 2 cards named Hydra head from the graveyard into the battlefield. If you can't, keep turning cards over until you show a Hydra head and put that onto the battlefield. So, nope. 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 Snapping Fang Head. Alright. So, the players take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage this turn to go to 8. It's a pretty bad place. Players' turn, they're going to loot. Come on, something to get the show going. That is not something. But getting mana seems good for this deck. But they already have a mana to play. This deck needs more mana, but it needs to be able to get more playable cards. So they're going to drop the island. This one will probably drop the Fengraph. And then we'll go to natural draws. Okay. Not great, but it's something. Alright. So this player will play the Plains. And then play we'll probably play Midnight Guard, Lingering Souls. Probably play Midnight Guard. Yeah. No, Lingering Souls, because of that other spell that can make them exile a creature. Yeah. That's Lingering Souls. Get a couple guys. Next turn we can start giving them Death Touch, provided that this team even lives the next turn, because there's 7 damage on the board. Okay, and then this one will play the only one that it can, which will be the Civilized Scholar. And we will pass to the Hydra. The Hydra draws a card. Put exactly 2 creatures named Hydra Head onto the battlefield from the graveyard. If you can't, reveal heads until another head shows up, and then cast that head. I believe that is the game's end here. Ravenous Brute Head shows up. Okay, the players take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, and they die. That's the end. So, players lose against the difficult level Hydra. That's too bad. Alright, I'll be back with some other thing, probably the Horde. Until then, bye.